Yeah, we can start with the men first. I mean, I feel really good. We're going into this meet probably about as healthy as we've been all year, and I'm just excited to see what we can do when everybody when the lights come on. Our women's team, I feel the same way. We've got an opportunity to compete at home in the place that we love to compete in, and of course there's some really good competition in the Big 12. There's going to be a lot of good teams fighting for those top 3 spots. So I'm just excited, and I'm glad that it's about here, and I'm ready to go.
What does it say about having this facility? You've run in it so many times, with the exception of going to Albuquerque and the couple of trips away. What's it say that you've had so much time here and are prepared for hosting the Big 12 here at your own?
Yeah, I love running here. We don't have any excuses. This is our home court, and so. But I think our Big 12 people have been here a lot too. So I think it's just. I think what I'm so proud of is when you come to this facility, no matter who you are, you're going to have an opportunity to qualify for nationals on a fast track, to set personal bests, to set Big 12 records, and you don't have that opportunity on some other facilities that we have to run on. And so that's what this is a championship atmosphere, and I think it's going to be real important. And you're going to see that this weekend.
With how quick the indoor season can be at sometimes, what is it like, I guess, making sure your athletes are ready for that championship atmosphere in such a quick time?
Yeah, indoors is always toughest for a coach. It's such a rushed 5 to 6 weeks, and that's really all of it. So we're having to push our kids a little bit more than we normally would for just an outdoor season. So there's always that balance of trying to push but not push too much. And so, some people get a little bit injured sometimes doing that. So we've been trying to be very careful with that. We've been real careful with some people. They haven't run much, and I think that's how you manage it. And so we'll see. But we've got those people that have qualified for nationals also in 2 more weeks. So hopefully we get through this meet healthy, and then we can go to the next one.
With some instances, they're kind of like that, like managing, I guess, when they do compete, when they do run. What's it like, I guess, making sure that maybe they hit their stride right exactly at this time?
Yeah, I think experience has helped us a lot, and then we have a veteran team and some people that even our transfers are veterans, most of them. And I think so we've kind of watched what they've done, and we know their strengths and weaknesses, and I think that helps you when you're trying to manage each kid. And we don't cookie cutter anybody. Everybody's different, and I think that's really helped us, as we've not tried to just make everybody do the same thing.
Coming into this week now too, pole vaulting ranked number 1 4th straight week in a row. What's it been like watching this team develop, and especially being able to?
Yeah, I'm so proud of that group. I mean, Coach Slagle just does a fabulous job with that vault group, and they're really a tight-knit group. And so they've been number 1, I think, all year long. So it's been fun for me to watch, and I can't wait to see all those guys participate, men and women.
Can you quantify just how big of an addition Zach Bradford was now that you've seen him have these records every other week, it seems like?
Yeah, he's just special. I mean, Zach is just unbelievable special. He's a great human being, fabulous teammates, and then as you can see, week by week, he's just phenomenal. So I think it just really adds to the culture that we have here, and I think that's what he was looking for, to be a part of a championship-type culture. And he sure adds to it, I can tell you that.
You gonna dye his hair like him this week?
I don't think so. He's tried to get me to, but I've had to try to make bets with him if we won or things like that. But so far, I'm holding off.
Does the fact that you came up short last year, came up second place, at least on the men's side, does that create any more motivation this time around?
For the coach, it does. I can tell you that. No, of course. It was a bitter pill to take. We got really close last year. We had some injuries that we had the meet won. Lost 3 people right at the last of the meet that we should have had the meet won, in my opinion. So there's motivation on my part and me talking about it, but I think we just need to go in and do our job. We don't need to do anything we haven't done. We need to do what we have done. And if we will do that, we'll be fighting for the championship.
Status of going to run down some names here. Jacoby Shelton.
Jacoby's feeling pretty good. Yeah, we haven't raced him, but he's practicing hard and really looking good in practice.
So expect him to compete this weekend?
Oh, until noon tomorrow, Don. I can't give you my secrets. Entry's closed tomorrow, so I won't comment on who's running what. But I will after noon tomorrow. You'll see.
How are Terrence and Andre Sweat?
They're good. I mean, they've both been working out, just like Jacoby, and so I'm really encouraged where they all are. What we run, I haven't totally decided yet. We've got till noon tomorrow to figure out everything, so still looking at strategy.
Is Ruta back? Is she cleared yet?
She is not.
So does that mean a red shirt for her then?
Indoors, yes.
Kind of off what you said about trying to hit your stride at the right time, but this team just keeps breaking records. So how do you keep kind of the confidence going, but also make sure to hit your stride at the right time and get it done?
Yeah, it's, as I said, it's such a quick season. You've got 4 or 5 races to prepare for the Big 12 championships or either 2 nationals. So we push the kids pretty hard. You just have to. They have to practice over Christmas to really have a great shot at it, most of them. And I think our kids are pretty mature there, and they've done a good job. So, and then I think you get to know each kid differently. As I said, we try to not to individualize. And we don't get it perfect on everyone, but I think we've got it pretty close.
As you play strategy and the gamesmanship that you have to play, where do you think you will see your strongest performances in what events, and what you have to play against to succeed this year?
There's a lot of events. On the women's side, the jumps, the long and triple, and pole vault. We need to do really well there. We need to do good in the 60 and the 200, and we need to do good in the 60-meter hurdles. And then we've got 600, and we've got 400 and 800 that I think we'll do strong. We've got a DMR. But I think if we're going to dominate one area, our women are more spread out. Our men, we have areas such as the hurdles, we have several in it. And then we've got the 60 with several in it. And we've got pole vault with several in it. And triple jump and high jump. I think there's that opportunity, especially on the men's side, that we could dominate some events if we're really running well.
You mentioned DMR. Who are the main guys who are running that?
Our DMR is really probably EJ and Paul Sherrill, and then Marco and a quarter miler. I hadn't decided yet there. But we don't have a lot of depth there, so it's pretty cut and dry.
And your 4x4, I think you're sitting 17th or 13th.
Yeah, overall, yes.
You'll need, if it doesn't come down to the 4x4 on Saturday, you would still need to run a good lineup probably to get to NCAA.
We are planning on, as we speak, to run our best lineup, in the final. So yeah,
Because the guys who set the season.
Yeah, we'll be running the best people we got, whoever's standing at that time. Hopefully, we're working some kids pretty hard, but it's over 2 days, and that does help us. And so, but you're right. We're sitting 13th. We're right on the bubble, and we're gonna have to run faster if we're gonna go.
And your guys in the 60 are ranked 16th, 20th, 23rd, and 29th. So
Yeah.
all of those guys are gonna have to run faster. Right?
Yeah, they are, and I think you'll see that several will. I just think this is going to be a fast track. It's going to be fast competition. I fully expect some people to lower their times and to be pretty solid in the national meet after this weekend.
Okay, so personnel strategy question. Denham is sitting 3rd in the conference in the 60 hurdles, which is double. Can they run the open 60 hurdles in addition to the pit?
We're considering it, yes. I'm not totally convinced we're going to do it, but I think the schedule will allow it. And so it's something I'm looking at. Sure am. I wouldn't do anything else with him if I do that.
And you said a couple of weeks ago that you will put Demisha in the 60 and also in the hurdles. It's obviously a tight turnaround immediately back to back.
About 20 minutes.
But she hasn't done that before.
She ran the 60 last week in her last
and the
meet.
hurdles, 60 and the
She ran one round and then just ran the 60. You run the one on one day, and then you've got, of course, the next day too. So that's going to really help. You've got that 20-minute turnaround. So it's something Coach Robinson and I talked about this morning, and it is tough. It's a tough thing to do. We don't want to hurt her for NCAA, but we want to do as best we can. So we're still debating that.
What you think about a former Texas Tech athlete women's 60 just hurdles 60?
Yeah, Alicia, I've talked to her or congratulated her on social media, and she's proud to be a Red Raider, and I think she's had a really great indoor season, I'll tell you. She's been very consistent. So, and then we've got people back in Houston that have coached with her, and Jamel Mason's dad, he coaches her personally at times back when she was younger, and so we've been talking about her a lot on social media. And so just real proud of her. You know, anybody that Red Raider, you know, we had Omo do some fabulous things for us in that meet, and now here's the hurdle we're kind of following suit again.
Track and field. What's this season been like progressing to this moment, and what's it like going to be hosting all these great Big 12 teams?
Well, for sure, it was a real pleasure to have this really beautiful like track here. I really enjoy it, and I was enjoying this whole season, this whole indoor season. I'm glad we have this track to run through all these meets around 4 or 5 weeks, and now I know like we're all prepared to run fast this week.
Getting to big championship events like this, what does it mean to again to like, be hosting those and have that work here at the facility who is already doing it?
I think everyone on the meet gets really hyped by it because we know this is our house, and as we have on the wall, we really need to protect it, and I know every one of our teammates is going to do it.
Is there anything different preparing for this meet compared to other meets? I mean, what's that preparation been like for this weekend?
I think basically most of our trainings and preparation meets before are just meant for this one race, or maybe some others for also nationals. But most of us are just getting prepared for Big 12.
How fast do you feel like you need to run the 800 this week?
I mean, this is a tricky question because I really cannot say if I'm going to run the 800 this week yet. It's just a coach decision right now. I know this has been a really tough year for 800, especially in our conference. But as I say, I don't know yet what I'm going to run, but I think it's going to be a really fast time if it comes to it.
So you don't know if, I was going to ask you what events you're doing, so Wes hasn't told you anything?
No, to be honest, no. We are still deciding, trying to decide which event could be better. I'm glad around 800 there is a lot of other events I can do, so it's going to be up to coach what I'm going to run.
How's this team come together? It's such a short season, so you have to come together and run, and to be able to encourage each other, especially make sure that you have those times that you want to get to regionals and nationals.
You're meaning for indoors or outdoors?
For both.
Okay, for indoors especially, we've been training maybe around from January, starting getting prepared and running into meets. I think outdoors is going to be maybe shorter because you just have to turn to the outdoor track and maybe I think we are, I don't know, we just keep training and take whatever we learn from indoor and take it to outdoor.
As a distance runner, do you feel like you prioritize mental or physical conditioning when you're running? Because I feel like that's an important part.
I think basically when you are about to run on the actual championship or competition, you really need to be mental prepared because all the physical or preparation you have done until that point is not going to improve in one day or even 1 week. So I would say mental part is real important whenever you need to compete.
What is your sense of where you are now, and how are you feeling as the Big 12 championship starts?
Going into the Big 12 championship weekend, I would say I'm really excited. One, because this is my last one, as it's my 5th year. I'm a 5th year senior, and so it really is bringing up a lot of memories from just past seasons and making me feel really grateful that I am even able to be in this one for my 5th year. And yeah, I'm just excited to see how it's going to go. I feel stronger than any year, and whether it shows up this weekend or not, I'm just really grateful to be running.
So here's a question: with your brother playing TCU, is he going to be at the game, or is he going to be over here watching you?
So I was telling him to come this weekend, but apparently his wallet got stolen and he's got to figure out the credit card situation. So he won't be here this weekend, which that might be an excuse to just go to the game. But he's definitely supportive of me, but he's a big TCU fan at heart.
So, being from Tyler and coming to this, how has this 5 years of your life, how have you evolved, and how has this team evolved as you've seen it?
Since I've been here at Tech, coming from Tyler, this has been the best 5 years of my life, I would say. And it has been an extremely, I would say, challenging, growing time period. I've learned more about myself than I ever have before. Being on this team has taught me more things than I could even say. And I would say it's all good stuff. Whether it was a challenging time or not, I will forever be grateful for what I've learned being in this program for the past 5 years. And it's shaped me to be the person I am today and will be in the future and wherever I go.
Last one for me. What has Coach Kittley and the rest of the coaching staff meant to you over these years?
What have they meant to me? I can't even begin to describe that. They've been some of the biggest mentors and some of the biggest impacts that I've had in my life. They've built me in confidence and mental toughness into just a strong young woman in general. And I couldn't be more grateful for them giving me a chance to just be on this team and compete at such a high level with such amazing athletes. And I just couldn't be more grateful for them. They've been awesome.
Being a fifth-year senior probably isn't a lot more when it comes to surprise, but is there anything maybe different about this year when you do run with senior urgency?
Something different about this year is a little bit of, I've had to deal with some pressure of it being my last year, and so it's been a little bit of a struggle not letting that affect me and letting that extra pressure affect how I run. I feel like it has shown me and given me a bigger perspective on what this year truly means, that it's not just track, it's bigger than that for me. And it always has been, but especially this year I've seen how this isn't forever and I'm here for a reason, but what is that reason for me? And I've just really gotten to see how God has put me here for a reason. And even if I can't fully see that right now, no matter what happens in this season, it's a good thing because God put me here. So I'm just extremely blessed and excited to be here this 5th year because I wouldn't have it if COVID wouldn't have happened. So that was a good thing that came out of it. And yeah, I just feel like I have a new appreciation for it my last year.
You had strong showings last year in the Big 12 championships in the 600 and the 4x400. How much does that stay in the back of your mind going into next year of the Big 12 championships? And what do you think the biggest improvement maybe you made between now and this?
Last year it was a good performance for me, but I wouldn't say it was my best performance either. I'm not saying that I didn't give my best, but I've definitely done better times since last year, and I try not to keep that in the back of my mind because I don't want to compare seasons because every season is extremely different, and it doesn't matter how good or well that I did last year. This is a new season and I have to treat it like it's a whole different thing. And so, yeah, I think I just have to, that's been also a thing that I've been working on, is trying to remind myself that this is a new season and we are working for that, and I feel stronger and I feel different than last year. So I've been kind of going with a new approach this year, and it's taking a little bit slower to build, and it's a little bit scary, but I feel a lot more hopeful with that.
Coach Kitt was talking to all you guys before too. I guess what was the big message in that speech right there?
Basically, this is these kind of meets are why we do the sport, and it's to go out there and have fun and do our absolute best and put it all out there on the line, and not just do it because we want to win a title, but because like we are out here because God put us here for a reason, and we want to use those abilities to honor Him as best we can, and just remembering that we are here and it's a privilege, and many people would kill to be in our spot to compete this weekend, and so we just want to really take advantage of that, and
So
I believe we can.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
You're good.
So having been here for 5 years now as like a Lubbock resident, when you leave this building and you're away from track, over the last 5 years, what have you enjoyed doing, either on campus or just elsewhere?
For the past 4 years, I've been in a student ministry called STUMO, and that has grown me a lot in my faith. So a lot of times I am hanging out with people that I met through there. It's a great community that I've developed, and going to their events, whatever that may be. I also started a nail business, kind of. Not really a business, but I just like to do nails for fun, and I don't know, it's like a hobby for me, and I love art and I like painting, so that's just like a good therapeutic, mindful rest time for me.
So your nails business, you do like fancy designs?
Yes, yeah, I can do all the hand-painted designs, everything.
Do any teammates or just?
Yes, I've done almost the whole jump squad, I think. Girls, not guys.
So is that the fallback if the dietitian doesn't?
Yeah, I guess you'd say I could go into the nail salon business. I wouldn't mind it, so.
Can you describe what it's like running on this track and how beneficial it will be, this weekend to host it inside here?
This is my third Big 12 championship here, and which is really cool because not many of the Big 12 schools or NCAA schools in general say that they get to host their championship. So I think it's a really great privilege to be able to stay at home. I get to sleep in my own bed, make my own food. I feel like that's kind of an advantage. I feel comfortable here. This is literally my home because I spend so many hours a day here. So that is a big blessing that we get to host it here and just feel comfortable and do what we know how to do and practice every day on this track.
You said your student ministry. You said it's called what?
STUMO. It stands for Student Mobilization.
Okay. Is it affiliated with a particular religion or?
It's Christianity.
Yeah.
It's not with a certain church, but they are non-denominational.
Right.